Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to my balloon channel. Today we're going to be twisting this big design right here. Although it's big, it's not very hard to twist, which is really cool. You gotta love that when you can get something big. And you know, this is also off of the idea of the swaddled baby. And then I also was online and I saw someone dressing up like a little character in a bunny outfit, and so I figured it won't be, you know, and it's not much more of a stretch to turn that swaddled baby into what you see here, a baby in a bunny costume. So one thing to point out is you don't have to add the arms and the little feet. You could simply add, you know, the portion that we're going to start with, and I'll bring that up when I do the voiceover, by the way. You know, where you could just add the bunny ears to the swaddled baby portion already. So the arms and the feet are additions that you may want to make. It's really up to you, and of course, you know, sometimes time will dictate how much we can do or can't do, you know. So there it is right there. Let's go ahead and talk about the balloons we're going to be using today. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Go take a seat, baby. Take a seat, baby. Over there. There we go. Okay, so we have our round with the pre-printed face on it, and you notice that this is using 11-inch balloons. You can definitely scale this down. If all you have is 5-inch for the baby and 5-inch for your rounds, by all means do that, you know. And then we're also going to be using pink 260 to do this as well. Let me go ahead and go down here real quick and get them and show you how much they're going to be inflated, okay? Keep in mind that the portions for the arms and the feet, they're going to have less air in them because those do have more twist in them. I think especially the hands, maybe the feet, I don't know, because the feet get broken off and you don't use a big portion of the balloon. So we'll get to that. But I did, when I was doing this, you notice that I have a lot less air in those, okay? So you can see I have about over a hand's grip left in those, okay? And they're pretty much the same. And you can just decide which one is better for you. And the more you make this, you'll realize like, okay, how much air works best for me. But for a good guide, a good start, I left about, you know, over a hand's grip in there. And then for the swallow portion, if you ever made that from before, we were able to do that all out of one balloon. But in this case, because we're adding our bunny ears, we needed a second balloon to come in and make that happen, okay? All right, so you see they're about the same here, about 3 fingers on the end there. And I did, you know, make sure to squish them and move some of that air down and burp it a little bit, make sure they're nice and soft and working with them, okay? So there it is right there. These are the balloons we're going to use, and you saw how much is going to be used for this. Remember, these that have less air, or excuse me, less balloon left in them, these are going to be to make the bunny ears and the rest of the body, okay? And then the ones you saw before that have more of a tail on the end of them, those are going to be for the hands and the feet, right? So just remember that when you're inflating your balloons, you're not sure where to go. Once you've got them all inflated, that's how you remember, okay? All right, so the way I'll do my tutorials, if this is your first time, welcome by the way, I will bring down the sound, that way we can minimize our squeaking and maximize our teaching, okay? So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's bring that sound down. Here we go. All right, so keep in mind, because when we get down to the arms and legs, that's gonna take more time for this tutorial. So this section is gonna be a little longer than normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by inflating both of my round balloons and get them around the same size. As you can tell right there, I just evened them up. And again, these are 11-inch balloons, just tie them together. Okay. All right, and so once that's ready to go, we can go ahead and start working with our the swaddled portion, including or starting with the bunny ears. Yep. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and do that right now. See, so I was just looking down there to see I hadn't set them, you know, any particular order, and so I was searching for the right ones based on how much was inflated. So we have our loop for our ears, and we're going to put a pinch twist at the bottom of there, and that ear is about, I would say, 5 to 7 fingers. Okay, it'll be up to you. 7 to 8 fingers. All right, in case you're wondering if you want it to be, you know, if you're trying to go for exact measurements that I'm using. And I'm just going to make another one with the other balloon, and I'm going to match that up, same size, about 7 to 8 fingers. Don't forget to pull that nozzle through there, and your pinch twist. There we go. Alrighty, and you know it's an interesting, well, I'll go back to that in just a minute. And that's going to be about 4 fingers, or about a hand's width, 4 to 5 fingers. All right, and just twist it into the pinch twist of the other ear. There we go. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go across, and we're going to end up doing some parallel bubbles here. There we go. And what this does, instead of just having one, you know, going across, is it'll help keep the baby's head from going all over the place or coming out of there when we place it in there in just a moment. Okay, so there we have our ear portion. and we're gonna go down to the side of the head. All right, and so that was about 5 fingers, and this is gonna be about 7 fingers. All right, and we'll go ahead and put a pinch twist there. Alrighty, and then we're gonna measure what's gonna come across underneath the baby's chin, like that area. Okay, and that is about, and when you look at it, that's about 6 fingers across, just so you know. And then we're gonna do another one on the other side, and we're just gonna match it up. And I made a mistake here. I went into a pinch twist without even thinking about it, and then I'm looking at 2 different pinch twists at that moment. So that was a mistake there, but I'll undo that in just a moment, and we'll be back in order. Okay, and I was all ready to put it in there too. So I was just getting ahead of myself. So let's go ahead and get rid of that pinch twist. Okay, but we still have that segment there already ready to go. So that means it can twist right into, or right around our pinch twist is already created. So one segment, is committed to going down, going under the chin, and then behind the head. And here's how we're going to secure the baby, the balloons that we had twisted together. We're going to go ahead and secure it now by pulling that balloon across there. Okay, and we'll be good to go for that segment. That is ready to go. And then we still have the other piece that's going to be left over. There we go. And you can see that those portions on top of the head there, because we have those 2 bubbles sitting between the rabbit ears, we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that. Don't need that anymore. Cool. Looks like we're all set so far. Still on time. Looking good. All right. And so I'm just going to make sure the baby's face is facing forward. That we're ready to go. Alrighty, and then for this portion here, normally you see right now I'm giving a nice stretch. I would usually come back over here to this segment, to that pinch twist, and get rid of this little bubble, but in this case I'm not so hung up about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it across and put it in there, but I'm not going to get rid of the bubble this time. I'm just going to twist it around there and make sure it stays, because it's so insignificant. And again, I'm trying to manage my time well here, and that'll just be a small portion, and you won't lose anything on having that bubble there. Okay, all right, so now we can go ahead and pull that down, so it's around the bottom there. And really, you could be done with the design right now. Okay, so it's up to you. Again, like I had mentioned at the very beginning, I could definitely stop right there, and that'll be just fine, and it'll still look super cute. But I have the rest of the balloons over here that I already inflated. I might as well use them. So all I'm gonna do for the arms is 3 pinch twists, and so that's gonna make 1 arm. There we go. Looks like we're good to go there. All right, make sure it's all set, and give it a nice little squish. Keep it nice and soft. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed the tail through a little gap right there. See that? Going to feed it, pull it through, and just pull it through, until you get the arm the size you want. That's a really long arm right now, so we're just going to bring it down about 4 fingers, somewhere around there, maybe 5 at the most. There you go. And then we'll go ahead and pull it through the other gap on the other side. Okay, so that's what we have right now. So right now, those balloons, the arms that we have there, they're just being held in place by friction, So I mean, they could, it wouldn't take a lot to get them out of there, especially if that round balloon below, the pink round balloon, if it ends up getting moved out of the way, the arms could potentially come out of there. So keep that in mind when you're making this, that if you are worried about that, then you could skip this step again. Okay, and so all I'm doing now is 3 pinch twists for the other arm. There we go. Oh, but that's someone was coming in. I thought I heard somebody messing with the door. I didn't want them sneaking up on me. All right, so we can go ahead and get rid of our leftover stuff here. Make sure those are nice and secure. All right, feeling pretty good about this. Making sure the arms are looking, pretty close to where I want them to be in terms of length. Alrighty. Yeah, and that's one thing to, you want to do while you're working on your design, is go back and look at it, throughout the process, and making sure that your proportions are looking pretty good. So that way your design can look nice and clean and uniform overall. So the last part we're going to work on is the feet. Alrighty, there we go. And so I did about 3 fingers wide for that bubble, and then 3 to 4 fingers for the leg portion. And then I'm going to put a pinch twist on there. Okay. And so with this piece, because it's connecting to the, it's not being wedged in there, it actually is being twisted to that bottom 260 going below. See that? I gotta kind of imagine, you know, a line going straight down, and that's where I'm gonna anchor one of those feet, okay? And when you're doing this, don't be discouraged if your round balloon comes loose a little bit. You'll be able to wedge it back in there, so don't worry about it too much. Just keep an eye on those arms that you're not losing them. So if anything, if you want to do this, you know, in terms of order, maybe you do the legs first and then do the arms. It'll really, you know, I'll leave that up to you. But for teaching purposes, I went ahead and did the legs last. Ready? So we got one ready to go. And I didn't lose that balloon there because I'm going to make one more leg. And we're going to go ahead and install it on the other side. And how did I determine how far away they are? Well, one thing to keep in mind, if your proportions have been more or less like, you know, this many fingers or this much, you know, distance apart, you want to keep that in mind when you're making this. And so in this case, a lot of times with the feet, it was three fingers most of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and use that again. And so that'll help it be consistent when we get down into this portion where we're adding the legs. All right, hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I said a bunch of nothing there for a second, but see, so I used the foot was 3 fingers and the legs about 3 fingers. And so when I space them apart, about 3 fingers looks good to me too. See? There we go. Now I had twisted a segment there, and I'm just creating a space where I can put that pinch twist in there. That's all I'm doing at that moment, in case you're wondering what it is. And because that balloon is not so strong, you know, it's not overfilled, we can definitely do that. So again, I'm trying to do just the pinch twist around there. I'm not too worried about feeding the whole balloon through there, because ultimately it's going to be the pinch twist in there anyway. Okay, so just making sure when you're doing that, you know, if you have to be a little delicate with it, no problem. Or if you have to use a 5th balloon, no big deal. I was just trying to maximize each balloon that I use by keeping them underinflated and soft. Alrighty. And one thing that I noticed when I was doing this, because I had that balloon left over after making the leg, I can definitely take this time to install a tail. I was getting ready to pop that, and I was like, why not? This looks like it'll reach across. It's still soft. There it is. See? So sometimes you get little unexpected bonuses out of nowhere. And so I'm going to do just like I did before, where I rolled a little teeny tiny bubble, and it can go over to the other pinch twist. There we go. And it'll anchor in there, no problem. And again, it's so small, I don't even have to worry about popping it. Because one of those things where maybe if you're in a balloon competition, they may go looking for little bubbles like that, but the client or, you know, a person standing in front of you waiting for a cute balloon probably is not going to get hung up about that. So keep that in mind. Alrighty, so I'm going to leave here just for a moment, because I really do want to put like a little cotton tail on the end there, just to round it all out there. So hang loose just for a second. Are you still there? Are you still watching the video? I'm coming back, I promise. You can see me. I run over to the side. There I am. All right, so I got my white balloon ready to go. I underinflated it, and I'm just gonna roll a little bubble out of it. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and pinch twist this bubble, actually. Okay, just like we do a normal pinch twist. I just pull the nozzle down and twist that. There we go. And so now what I can do is I can pull that pinch twist down. Let me go and see if I can't turn this around here. I was like, acting like I'm only making this for myself. I'm not sharing. What a greedy little guy. So all I did is I pulled the pinch twist down underneath there, and I'm just going to go ahead and twist the whole mess together. Okay, so that pink balloon is getting segmented right there where I pulled the pinch twist. So you can see right there. And the pinch twist will help support that tail and keep it upright and in position, as with most pinch twists. That's usually what they do, right? Anyway, there we go. We made it. Holy cow. What a long tutorial. Ooh. Wow, we made it. Holy cow. I think this is my longest tutorial on this channel so far. It might be actually, but there it is right there. We made it. Holy cow. See, that's kind of cool. It's you know, takes a little more time, but it's a pretty good payoff in terms of, you know, what you end up with. So it's one of those things, again, if you got the time, you could definitely go all out and, you know, put your baby in a little suit. So anyway, Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you, especially for my people that have already been here before. And then for my new people, I have many more tutorials. Just check out the playlist that I have. I definitely have an Easter one, and I'm going to add this one to it. So again, you can scale it up like this, or if you got the 5-inch, bring it down, no problem. So again, or don't forget to rate, share, subscribe. That's right. Thumbs up, hit the little, subscribe button. It's around here somewhere, down below somewhere. Anyway, last but not least, if you want to support the channel, you say, man, dude, that balloon is super cool, I'm gonna make that, right? You can go to patreon.com/JLoMagic. That's JLOMAGIC, JLoMagic. All right, well, I'll see you guys next time. Until then, Monday, I got a silly idea that I think you'll have some fun with, but that'll be here on Monday, okay? So until then, happy twisting, my friends. Bye.